And if you talk it out and say, I'm so scared, there's nothing moving, is something wrong, nothing's going on, you're inviting people in for Alice's tea party, and you are absolutely misusing the grace of your castle. Be alert for the presence of evil. Be alert. Know that this is temptation. I'm not talking chocolate. Knock it off with that stuff. I'm talking as soon as you start bragging, as soon as you are seduced by glamour, as soon as you have to start wearing your bubbles, bangles, beads, that are signatures of power that announce to the public, I am involved in this kind of power or that kind of power, you attract the devil to your door. The more you go on the inside, the more silent you must become on the outside. You never tell someone else they're wrong, because they're not wrong. They're on their own journey. As you go into your interior life, as you go into your inner self, I promise you that the seduction of God will happen. You will encounter a profound moment of quietude. It will take you over. A level of soul quietude that makes any massage you've ever had or any relaxation feel like tight shoes. That will be so overwhelming for you that you will implode with the need to tell someone, you have no idea what happened to me. And to this I would advise, find your spiritual companions, your soul companions. As Teresa would say, as I would tell you, because we are longing for companions of the soul. But be cautious that you never ever reduce your deep and precious interior experiences in a way that positions you to put them out there and then feel that you've been disrespected and insulted. Because if you do, you've asked for it. You've set yourself up because you opened your mouth. And you should have known better than to expose your own journey. Because your own interior life should tell you, why are you bringing this up? Why would this be of service? And instead of talking about your interior life, become your interior life, and there's nothing to talk about. Channel grace as a daily basis of service. The more you go into your interior life, the more attuned you are going to become to the world around you. And the more attuned that you are, the more that you are going to feel, perceive instructions on channeling grace to other people. It's just going to happen. Because that's the instructions for mystics out of monasteries. And you need not go into deep and altered states. Just take a deep breath, close your eyes, and say, I am a channel for grace on behalf of that person. Pause for 5 seconds and let it go. And just say, bless them. And let it go. No attachment. And no business card that says, I'm a channel for grace, it's my occupation, call me if you need it. You're flying under the radar. And you live in the whole notion at all times that you are a channel for grace. This is such a challenge because you have from this point on to see the world as sacred. Not just this part or that part, But this world is a monastery now. And you are devoted to it. Not committed, devoted. And devoted is a word that implies that your companion is God. Now, I need to emphasize that such devotion does not and will not shatter your ordinary life. But what it does bring is the extraordinary to your ordinary life. This incredible quest for meaning and purpose that has captured, if not imprisoned, the contemporary spiritual population is in fact the result of the awakening of the soul, but the inability to access it. And when you find that you have embraced what it is to have the soul active, and what the soul requires, and to live the soul's discipline, and put that with the physical world, and make that one and the same, without fear, without the division of church and state, body and spirit, that has characterized the last 2,000 years, that those who honor the soul go into the monastery, celibacy and poverty, and those who follow the way of the body go into the world. That is a model that is over with. And yet, being the first to try and put it together is a challenge, but bless you for responding to that challenge. It is exactly people like you who are being called as sacred activists and mystical activists. It is exactly people like you who are being called to see and to bring wisdom and higher thought into social change, into political change, into the change of the atmosphere of how to bring cultures together, of how to heal a wounded world, of how to be spokespeople for wounds within neighborhoods, because you know how to walk into such wounded areas channeling grace. This is exactly where mystics out of monasteries belong. You know exactly how to walk into places of great crises, which will characterize our beloved planet in the years to come, with a prayer in your soul saying, I am a channel for grace. Where do you want me? And it may be cleverly disguised in exactly the package you're wearing right now. Only the difference is you are now a soul on fire. You know you are now a mystic. And you know that it is the mystics who transformed this world. Whether you are dealing with the Buddhists, whether you are dealing with the Christians, whether you are dealing with the great Jewish mystics, whether you are dealing with Chief Seattle, it has always been the mystics who took on the darkness and said, come this way. It takes a great deal of courage. Make no mistake. But there is no other path. There simply isn't. Not for anybody who's conscious. There is no other path. The practice in the castle. Remain active in your castle. You have to continue your work within your castle, coming back into your mansions. I want to remind you to add on your own rooms when you know that you have a new reptile or a new concern or something new about yourself that you have to work with. Add it on. Now, don't be too ambitious. You can't get out of the lower mansions even if you try. You can take a running leap and bash into the